championship favorite for me, I think I want to say Alex Palou, and I really want to take the low hanging fruit here. I really do, but I'm not going to. Not going to. I think we see a little bit different championship battle here. I think, like I said, with the Scott McLaughlin sentiment here, I think that Penske's going to take a step back in like the Indy 500 is like one race. I think they're going to take a step back in, but like you said with Will Power, that chip on his shoulder win this year, I think Scott McLaughlin kind of has that same feeling because there was a lot of races last year he probably should have won that he didn't win and like really showed some pace. A lot of them were on the ovals too. Just got beat by Newgarden. I think that he really improves his game this year. I think he gives Newgarden a run for his money on ovals. That's something that Palou I know has not. That's kind of one of his weaknesses right now is oval racing. Really the best opportunity he had last year was Indy 500. The other ovals he just was mid. He was just about fifth, sixth place guy at best. So I think that's where McLaughlin's going to be able to do some of his damage. We know how good of a road racer he is, street racer especially. I think we're going to see him win a few of those as well. I think he takes a step forward. And then I'm going to say it because I'm a real big Pato O'Ward fan. I'm not a McLaren fan at all, but I do like Pato O'Ward. I think Pato O'Ward also has a chip on his shoulder this year. He says, I want to win the Indy 500. I'm done. I think not only if he can win the Indy 500 or find a way to win the Indy 500, I think he carries that momentum on through the rest of the season. I think he's a contender for the championship down the line. Whether McLaren has figured something out with their pace, whether he can keep his head focused on winning the championship and not get too ahead of himself, looking forward to the F1 future. I think that's an interesting pick. What are you thinking, Tom?
Yeah, so man. It's so hard to not choose Palou.
Yeah, I know it is.
And then second in points this year was Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, Ganassi, and then who was third? Newgarden. But Newgarden's only really strong in the ovals,
Mm-hmm.
and then who's after that? The points gap was so big between those, or after those three drivers, it doesn't really matter. Now we're talking about the Christian Lundgaards. We're talking about, McLaughlin, Will Power, I mean, the list just goes on, but I mean, it's so hard not to choose Palou. I think Palou goes back to back. I really do. There's got to be something monumental to stop Palou this year and winning the championship. I mean, he is just on a whole new level of race car driver. I mean, I'd put him close to like Max Verstappen consistency. I mean, Formula One's a little bit of a different series when it comes to stuff like that because there's a lot of different variables that go into the car, but you still need a very fast, consistent driver. And I think that Alex Palou and Max Verstappen can be relatable in those terms. So I have a hard time choosing anybody but Palou. I really do. I just don't see it. Now, Scott Dixon has a good beginning to the season. Like, we see him win 2 races before the Indy 500. Oh, man, you better watch out because he's winning the championship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if he wins 2 races before the Indy 500, it's over. It's over. And that is typical Scott Dixon. But if we see Scott Dixon struggle like what we did this year, but really turn it up at the end of the year, it really depends on where he turns it up. But I just don't see it. I just see Palou just dominating again.